seconds. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to see you today on my I Love Learning podcast, where we explore leadership, learning science, workplace learning, and personal transformation. If you don't know me, I'm Dr. Gina Anderson. I'm a learning scientist, and I'm the CEO of Luma Brighter Learning. And I believe that learning in small actions can spark extraordinary change. If you'd like to learn more about my work in learning science and workplace learning, be sure to visit Luma Brighter Learning. But as you all know, this is season 3, and I started this season because it's all about the power of small, where we explore on this season how tiny habits and small mindset shifts can just change your life. And if you believe in growth and leadership doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it just starts with one simple small step, then this podcast is for you. And if you enjoy our conversation today and you are truly going to like it, I guarantee it, be sure that you follow my YouTube and Spotify channel, because the more people that follow and like it and comment, the more people that get impacted by learning. So thank you all for joining us. I'm so glad you're joining me on this very special episode today. Today, I am joined by Lindsey Markley, and she is a powerhouse in the trucking industry with over 15 years. We just talked about this, her and I, offline, in marketing, telematics, and connected vehicle solutions. But beyond her career, one thing that I've noticed as I follow Lindsey on LinkedIn is she brings something even more meaningful to the conversation: her perspective. When I was reading her post, she wrote about a time where she stepped away from the noise of her work to be fully present with her daughter. And she also had a post where she talked about the legacy of her papa, who shaped her work ethics and values. She reminds us all that success isn't just about performance. It's about presence, it's about people, and it's about the small moments that stay with us. I am so honored, Lindsey, to have you on my show today. Thank you so much for joining. Why don't you go ahead and share with everyone what you're passionate about and maybe a little small introduction?
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for that awesome introduction, Dr. Gina. I am super excited to be here with you. When you first asked me, I was like, me? Okay. But so yeah, I've been with the Volvo Group for going on 17 years, doing all different things, starting with within the Mac organization, and then moving into the connected vehicle side. And then about a year and a half ago, moving over to Volvo Financial Services. So now I do marketing for our services and solutions, our offers like insurance and parts and service financing. And it's been really fun, just learning different pieces there, challenging myself. And some things that I like to do outside of work, we were talking about this, are singing and performing, being on stage, whether that be in the setting of a performance on the main stage, or whether it just be, hey, I'm going to do some karaoke tonight. I enjoy it.
I love that. Oh my gosh. I think the only place I really sing, now this is kind of funny. So I sing to my dogs. And I think that's the only people I think I sing to, because I know they don't I don't know if they hear me. They don't run away, that's for sure. But I do think that singing and music, obviously, I don't think I know from a neuroscience standpoint, it brings you joy and happiness. So I think today we should all sing in the shower. I think everyone should pick a song. What would be your favorite karaoke song to sing? What do you think?
Gosh. Okay. So I have several, but the one that I did most recently and had a little help from my husband was What's Up by Four Non Blondes, because
Oh,
they get into it. They're like, yeah, hey, going
I
on.
love that. That is a really good one. I wouldn't think that. I started this season this year, my third year, because I really decided to keep it because I wanted to talk about small moments in our lives that really make a big difference. What do you think in terms of one small moment that you've had on your journey in these 17 years that have really changed everything for you?
Yeah. So one of the main things, and it started small, was my husband.
Oh,
In the same role for quite a while because I felt comfortable. I felt, yeah, I'm doing this really well. And he really said to me, like, you can do more. You should push
wow.
to do more and be better. And so,
Mhm.
slowly but surely I started listening to him. And then I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna start applying for some of these different roles, and got the opportunity to move into something different. And so for that, I would say that small step and push was
Wow.
definitely my husband's encouragement.
Wow, that is really incredible. It's really interesting. I write about this in my book about really the only person that holds us back is ourselves, and
Mhm.
sometimes it just takes somebody else recognizing that and mentioning that to impact us to like take that small step. So I'm so glad that you had that small push to help you kind of grow in your career. And, it kind of like relates to the question that Lena asked me last week. And she wanted me to ask, do you know Lena? If not, you should really connect with her. She's an incredible leadership thought leader where she writes about how leaders struggle and CEOs
Mhm.
struggle in this male dominated industry.
Yeah.
But she wanted to ask you specifically about how you like really help promote women in such a male dominated industry where we can really help them move forward because she noticed on your LinkedIn, it said that you're a champion of women. So let's hear about it.
Yeah, cheerleader for women.
Well,
So,
cheerleader champion, I
yeah,
think they're the
yeah.
same.
I say
Yes.
cheerleader because I grew up cheerleading, right? So that's why I
Oh,
was like, "That's a great word, a
I
cheerleader."
love that.
I like to see women succeed. It's you have these times where you're looking around in a room
Uh-huh.
and maybe there's just you as the only woman in the
Mm,
room. And so I always try to look around and think, okay, is there another woman in the room? Are we speaking up? Are we staying connected? How can we help each other? So, I mean, I go to the North Carolina Trucking Association Women in Trucking Summit, which is how
oh,
we met, right?
right. Yeah.
And I love meeting with those women and networking with them and finding out
Mm,
how are they helping to push women within the trucking company? How are they supporting and helping grow that? And so I was kind of thinking about that as you were talking about the next week is the recruiting
mhm.
gentleman. Like,
Yes, yes,
how are
Brad
they
Hackett.
thinking? How are they thinking about including women and showing them how
Oh,
working within the trucking industry is great as a woman to be in the industry, breaking
right.
those barriers and pushing them down. I try to be a cheerleader to those, reach
Mm,
out to them, mentor.
mm,
I was telling you previously
mhm,
about working with people who are in college who are looking for internships.
mm,
How can we help
mm,
those women to knock down doors and really push them towards working
mhm.
within a male-dominated industry? Maybe it's not the trucking industry, maybe it's,
Mhm.
engineering or
Oh,
something of that
mm.
nature.
Yeah, I love that you say that. I'm gonna show a picture. I was thinking as you were talking. So this is a picture that was taken last Saturday. You can notice that at my table there were young women. These
Yeah.
women were in high school
Oh,
and doing a case study. And it's one of these things I told them, don't ever let anyone tell you you can't do what you want to dream to do,
mhm.
because everyone is probably, whether you're a man or a woman, there probably has been a time where someone made a small comment that had such a big impact and maybe have held you back. But I really wanted to share with them, and like you share with those college students that you talked about, that anything is possible if you put in the hard work and the belief that you can do what you want to do. And so I love that you are going to ask Brad how he supports women next week. He's at Jet Trucking and he's going to join me. So that's really exciting. So let me ask you, Lindsey, what do you do every day to stay happy and engaged and just keep you learning and growing?
Yeah, so I mean, some of the things that I enjoy doing just to decompress a little during the day are go for walks, right? We have a really cool little pond to walk around, and it's fun to see like the snapping turtles and
snapping turtles.
Yeah, the big birds that fly in and just the little smaller turtles. But that just kind of gives you that release to say, inhale, exhale. Remember I showed you my cup?
Yes.
Sometimes you just get overwhelmed with everything and you're like, "Ooh, I gotta take a step away and just breathe," right?
Yeah.
And so small things like that, interacting with my coworkers, I always try to smile at people because I never really know like you don't know how their day is or how their day's going, but I try to always smile. I try to bring joy to others just in that small, effort.
Yes,
it doesn't much to smile and be nice to people.
It doesn't. I agree with you. Well, you're such a bright light. I mean, you shine so bright and your smile lights up a room. And I appreciate that because you're right. A lot of times, people are looking down at their phone or they're not engaged, and we want them to feel good. And you feel good when you make that small moment of connection. It changes us. It's so important. And I think, is this something that you learned in a book, or how have you, like, where did this come to you? I mean, it's such an easy concept just to smile.
Well, I think, some of the things that you've said throughout the sessions that you've done with the North Carolina Trucking Association, just those small reminders that even just the smallest bit of kindness can help someone. We don't know what they're going through. And I think as you think about it, you don't know what age they're at, and you don't know if they've had a bad day. You don't know if they've had a great day. And a lot of people, I feel, hide their feelings. They come in and think, "Oh, I'm at work. I've got to just get my stuff done. I got to focus." But I think just those small little breaks can maybe just brighten their day and help them to get through the rest if they were struggling.
Yeah, I agree. So we have a fully remote work environment. And one thing I am always telling our employees is make sure you take a break. Like, go out and take your lunch. I don't like it when people eat through their lunch. They know this because your brain needs nourishment. So take the time, enjoy outside, go for a walk, take your dog for a walk, take a half hour, take 45 minutes, take an hour. It's important. It helps you reset and be engaged. But if you're at your computer all day or on your phone and you don't take a break, you start to feel it. You feel it inside your cells. It's important. So I love that. I love it. Maybe you go out and you sing to your dog. I don't know. It would bring joy. People will look at you and be like, that person is happy. I want to be with them. That's so really good. So Lindsey, I think you know this, but I started my podcast 3 years ago because I had drivers reaching out to me on LinkedIn saying they were depressed and asking me, I'm a learning scientist, what they could do to feel better. I also did a research study and studied a lot of drivers, and they wanted to learn about depression. So if someone told us or someone told you that they had lost their passion for learning and they were struggling, what other types of advice would you give them to help them take that next step?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I would say is you don't have to do it all at once, right? It's all or something, not all or nothing. You can just do those small steps, reaching out to someone. I know that, you pull into a truck lot, right? You're either filling up or you're just taking a break because you're out of hours. just reaching out to even someone there that maybe you're checking out. Maybe you've gone into for a shower or something of that nature. Just a quick, hey, how are you doing? Just to kind of re-engage and reignite. You've been on the road, you haven't been maybe talking to anybody. So those small interactions can help us to connect. And if you are struggling, definitely reach out to someone, because people might not know. I mean, we don't know what people are going through. We can't tell. Some people are always smiling and maybe they seem happy, but it could just take that one person that says, hey, how are you really doing? To re-engage and get them going.
I love that. Taking the time to listen and be present is so powerful. Look at Jill showing up. Jill, we appreciate you. She loves it. She says, smiling is effortless. I love that. Yes, it is effortless. It is effortless. Jill, I love that you're here with us today. Jill just got back from Orlando, and she spent her birthday in Orlando.
So happy belated.
Yes. So hopefully she's doing something good this weekend. It is Friday Junior, everyone. That is always a good day. Oh, look, and Bill Bradford is joining us. Oh, look at this. Hi, Bill. We're so glad you're here today. We're talking about how smiling is just effortless. Why does it feel sometimes so hard? I don't know. Like, how do you, I mean, it has to be authentic. Let's be real, right? We have authentic smiles, but you know what I do? I think of something really beautiful, something that I can harness love inside. I talk about it in my TEDx talk. How do you harness a smile? I want to hear your perspective on this, Lindsey. How do you harness that when you might not feel like smiling?
Yeah. So for me, I think about my family, right? I think about the fact that they're there for me, that they love me as I am, in my best or my worst, right? So that makes me happy, thinking about my family and that they love me no matter what, even when they see me in those moods where maybe I'm not the happiest, but they usually bring a smile to my face.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Brad. His daughter just got married. I love that. And you're in South Carolina? Oh my gosh. I just got here like an hour ago, so I'm glad I made it. It's supposed to be rainy, so hopefully, well, she's already married, but I was in the plane next to someone. They said they were getting married. It's going to be rainy. And I'm like, yeah, but, and again, it's like looking at the bright side, you're going to be in Charleston, so it's still going to be beautiful. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to take a situation that may seem not ideal and think about what is going to be good about that situation. So yeah, it's going to be raining in Charleston, but you're going to be in Charleston, and you're going to be in a beautiful venue, and there's going to be love, and people are starting their life together, y'all. We don't have to worry about the weather.
Right. And I'm sure that they're going to look beautiful too.
Exactly. And there's going to be singing. So I love that. You would love that. You probably go in and karaoke that. That would be perfect. So Lindsey, how can people get in touch with you? Let us know what's the best way, and then leave us today with some beautiful smile advice that we can put it in our pocket and take it with us into the weekend.
Yeah, so people can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I am there. Lindsey Markley. It's pretty easy to find me. And then I'd love to make connections. So if you want to reach out, please do. You can send a note. You could not send a note. It's okay. I love to make those connections, see what you're doing, learn from you. I've got so many different connections in all aspects, not just in the trucking industry, that I learn from. So that's super exciting.
Yes. And
so my advice is to be coachable. We can all learn something new, even from something unexpected people, unexpected experiences. I mean, kind of like we were on a plane today, and you could have learned something from somebody sitting right beside you and not even know. So step out the unexpected and step out of your comfort zone and go for it.
I love that. Well, thank you for joining me today. Keep being beautiful, keep making an impact, and keep being kind.
Yes, thank you.
All right, everyone. We will see you next week. And as you know, like we said, we're going to have Brad Hackett on from Jet Trucking. So until then, we will see you.